Good day everyone. I'm Carl Angelo Buriel, 20 years old. I just want to share with you guys my experience with this newly opened cafe in Bagumbong, Caloocan. They offer different variations of food such as ice blended coffee. One thing I noticed with their business upon serving me their drinks and mini desserts is that they don't indicate well the ingredients and the components of their beverages, which based on the Australian safe food in one business should be very specific in indicating the contact of the product that they are serving. With this, I see that setting up a menu that shows the nutrition information and ingredients will be more appropriate. And let's be mindful, guys, and be our own critic, especially with the food that we are choosing. That's all my experience.
Hi, I am Marylis Estrada. I am 19 years old. In my research and experience when it comes to a local food service, vendor, cafe, or restaurant, there are many mistakes who didn't follow or didn't know how to manage. Also their business, mostly in street vendor. They didn't know what are the practices of safe handling standards. They prepared or serve whatever they want. We often see the wrong preparation, like cooking and even cleaning of the food. They didn't maximize the freshness of the food. They just keep the meat, poultry, and seafood unfrozen. And they didn't know the right internal temperature to kill harmful bacteria that can cause problem to the customers. Contamination like foodborne illness or food poisoning. The most common symptoms is vomiting and diarrhea. That is why we need to follow what is right when it comes to food process or food safety. The most we see the wrong packaging of the food. That is why we are afraid that we can have a COVID because now we are not safe with COVID-19. This is why we still avoid the wrong processing or packaging for those who sell food because we need to be safe every day.
The quality and appearance of food. The food quality is usually defined as the total of all features and attributes of food item that a client finds is acceptable: size, form, flaws, color, and consistency. And these are all examples of food quality: texture, flavor, and nutritional value. Appearance of food. Color is the most significant aspect of any food look, especially when it's linked to other food quality characteristics and such variations in a color quality as fruit ripens or food spoil or goes bad. Transmission of COVID-19 through food. COVID-19 cannot be contracted from food. This is according to current evidence because COVID-19 is killed at temperature similar to those used to eliminate the other viruses and germs present in food. And then there's currently no proof that the individuals can contract from COVID-19 through food or food packaging. According to the World Health Organization, the World Health Organization believes that more research into origins and dissemination of COVID-19 is needed, including any potential influence of frozen food and food packaging. That's all.
Good day everyone, I will share some information about food handling practices. But before that, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Shanda Faye Daya, a tourism student from YB-7. Let me start by giving you some information about food handling practices. Cooling and heating processes that support microbiological safety of food. Cooling and heating processes, a fair rule of thumb is that the longer you touch and cook anything, the less nutritional it becomes. Thus, food prepared fresh is always better for you than food processed numerous times to get a store-ready version. The same rule can be used to ensure food's microbiological safety. It's fascinating to learn that some vitamins and minerals are more sensitive and unstable than others, and that they are the first to be affected by cooking. In terms of heating operation, they have a limited number of opportunities to reheat food, so they must be cautious to avoid contamination. They cook the chicken in a deep pressure cooker for 12 minutes, then release the pressure and drain the oil for the last 3 minutes. Controlled temperature and frozen items remaining frozen during storage. For controlling temperature and remaining frozen items, perishable foods, temperature control is critical. Confirm that refrigeration units operator below 5 degrees Celsius transfer high-risk food such as meat, poultry, seafood, and dairy products to cold storage as soon as possible. Frozen food should be stored at -18 degrees Celsius or even lower. Avoid overcrowding storage areas and ensure adequate air circulation. People who work at the restaurant describe how serious they are about maintaining the proper temperature to preserve the freshness of the food, saying that they set a certain temperature for each type of food that must be followed or it will be considered neglect.
Hi guys, my name is Kurt Gentle Igagerman, and today I'm going to share my experience about monitoring of food temperature during preparation. Let's begin. Me and my family likes to eat sizzling foods, and we used to eat outside almost every Sunday after church hours. One time, our favorite restaurant is closed. Find another spot that serves sizzling foods. After a few minutes of finding, we finally found the spot. And then we ordered sizzling foods like sisig and etc. When our food arrives, our table was almost covered by smoke, and I think it is because of the sizzling plates. At first glance, you can see that it is very hot, and I was like, don't you want us to eat this or what? We really wait for a couple of minutes to let the temperature cool down so that we can finally eat. I think they are not setting a food exact temperature before serving it. Monitoring food temperature while preparing it is very important because it might cause accident. I used to like coffee before the pandemic starts, but now I kinda don't like it anymore because it's ruined my sleeping schedule. I'm always buying coffee before going to school because there is a near convenience store in our school, besides our school. I think the coffee machine in there has a built-in thermometer. I'm amazed because I'm like, is there really a thing like that? I'm like, that's my reaction that time. And I think installing thermometer in a coffee machine is a great idea because it lets the customer know the hotness of their drink. And for some establishments that I've been to, like Starbucks and Coffee Bean, I don't see anything like a thermometer thing because they only have a barista. They are too professional to make drinks, and I think it is a skill for them to know whether the drink is exactly hot or not. It's like a normal practice to teach baristas to utilize their sense of touch and hearing to detect when a pitcher of milk has achieved the proper temperature. While these are valuable abilities to have, so they can provide room for inconsistency.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Agravante, and all of us like to eat outside, especially when we don't have time to cook at home. I personally like eating in a fast food chain like Jollibee and McDonald's. I recently went to a fast food and I've noticed that some things are not disposed properly due to poor sanitation and cleanliness. The store doesn't use reusable cups or glass since COVID still exists. Instead, they have a single-use items such as disposable cups, spoon, and fork. It's actually good. However, I've noticed that some things are not properly disposed. The trash bin are open, the garbage are exposed. They are also not labeled properly so that biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable are mixed. It is important that the trash bins are labeled properly so that people would know where to put their waste after eating, and this should be in a place somewhere that is far from the tables. Another thing I've noticed is that the floor is not swept time to time. You will see the dirt from people's shoes and the food that fell on the floor, and some part of the floor is slippery due to the drink that spilled. I always look at the floor to see whether a store is clean or not. So it's important to keep them clean as it attracts the customer. When cleaning the tables, it's a must to sanitize it by wiping with a clean cloth, and better with the spray with an alcohol or any sanitizing liquid. Another important part of the store is the comfort room. It should be a clean place anytime by making sure that the floor is swept, toilet bowl should be sanitized, and the toilet have a working flush. There should be a liquid soap for the customer when they washing their hands, and a running water, of course. The manager should outline a cleaning and sanitation plan and must clearly discuss with his or her team. They should prioritize cleanliness, especially during this pandemic.
We'll be right back.